This has been the absolute worst experience ever in Singapore that I have faced.
Then you should lodge a police report, 100%.
Alright, let's start from the beginning. My name is Tejas and I'm a Singaporean who's currently studying in a film school in Mumbai. Oh, wait, didn't we do this last year? Okay, so what's different this time? The severity of the second wave of COVID in India hit so hard that schools were once again shut and it did not make sense for me to stay there alone. Plus, the most important reason for me to come back home was because I can get the priority vaccination here, which is available for Singaporeans and PRs who study or work overseas. So, I booked a ticket and made my journey back home. Honestly, initially, I was not expecting anything of interest to happen during this entire journey, but then things started to take a turn for the worse upon landing at Changi Airport.
We landed in Singapore at about 7:30. We were brought to this boarding gate area. The staff that was there, that was handling us, they were not behaving exactly professionally. First of all, they weren't telling us what we were waiting there for. They were not giving us specific instructions. It was very random, very haphazard. And the worst part is... as you can see, I'm struggling to say this because you don't see discrimination in Singapore that often, but it does exist, and it's very sad and disappointing and very disheartening to see it happen. So these passengers, I could easily tell that they can't speak English properly. Obviously, these forms and these formalities that everyone had to fill up was going to be extra difficult for these people especially. This staff member in question was being so rude to them. Even though I'm Indian by race, the fact that I have a red passport was what gave me that privilege and gave me the respect that the staff member was giving me. You're treating the other passengers in a horrible way because they're not Singaporean. And if I wasn't holding a red passport, I would have probably faced a very similar reprimanding, if that's the right word to use over here. After that, there was a very long queue for the testing to happen. It was organized but also not at the same time. At times, the line was moving quickly like this, and at times, I was standing in the same spot for like 20 minutes and nothing was happening. At no point in time were they telling us, oh, we're sorry for the delay, actually this is happening or that is happening, nothing. All this while I'm talking to a couple of my friends who recently traveled to Singapore who were in and out of the airport within 1 hour. And I am still stuck there along with all of these other passengers with no reason as to why the wait is so long. Eventually the test happened, immigration happened, collected our bags, and then we were put in the shuttle bus. No communication, no one knows where we're going except probably the driver. It's about 9:45. I finally check in at the hotel. I'm given my room and I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to clean everything, all of my bags. I'm ready to shower, eat, and go to sleep. I entered the lift and another passenger enters with me. The usherer asked us both which room we were assigned, and we were both assigned the same room. A few minutes later, I'm assigned the room next to him. So I go up, scan my key card. I open the door, I slot the card into that slot thing where you slot it in and the lights go on. And the lights didn't go on. I looked at the key card and it had the hotel's number on it. I called it. No one showed up for about 10 minutes. I got fed up. I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I can at least open the door. I can keep my luggage here. I will go down. There was a bellboy. He saw that I was about to go to the lobby and he was like, let me try and fix this for you if I can. So he tried it. It didn't work either. And eventually when I did go down to the lobby and I explained to the receptionist that, hey, could you just assign me another room, please? Then the receptionist was like, sir, you can't be here right now. Please go up. We'll send an engineer. But if I can't even be in my room, then how do you expect me to be there? If that makes sense. But anyway, I listened to the receptionist and I was like, fine, send an engineer, even though the bellboy has already seen it. And then she said that, hey, he's just a bellboy. What does he know? I'll send an engineer. Fine. So I went up and I sat down outside my door and I just waited for the engineer to come. One of the security guards, he came up and he was like, oh, what's happening? What happened here? And I was like, I told them 20-30 minutes ago to send someone. Nobody came. Then finally an engineer came. He tried it. didn't work. He called a technician. That technician came with a ladder. He tried it, still didn't work. Then that technician called his supervisor saying, hey, I think we need to assign this guy a new room. So after the technician left, the room's phone rang. It was the receptionist who said, hi sir, I was told that you are looking for some help. What do you require? What is your assistance that you require? I had to go down, someone had to come up, 5 people tried the keycard slot thing, none of it worked, and now you're calling me after 45 minutes. So I told her, look, just reassign me another room. Eventually, someone came and they were like, hi sir, sorry for the inconvenience. We have reassigned you another room. Please follow me. It's down the hall. I took my stuff, went there. Finally, I'm here in this room and it's working. Last year when I came, everything was free. Now, any passenger who's traveling to Singapore has to pay for all these services, and if we are paying for these services, then it should be good. And it is good, no doubt about it. And even last year I had a fantastic experience. But this time around, the whole experience was just a complete 180. It's very frustrating. If someone, health conditions or elderly person, can't speak English, has young kids, disabled, can you imagine someone of that condition having to go through all of this? The complimentary dinner that's part of the package deal that we are paying for, the cutoff is at 9:30 and we checked in at 9:45. It's fine. I'm not saying that refund us for that, but had the delay at Changi Airport not happened, we might have gotten that food instead of ordering chicken rice and stuff, even though this chicken rice is pretty good. And I'd ordered boneless, but there's still like bones in this, and I just it's a bad day, man. It's a bad day. And stuff like this happens, you can't just let it go. The discrimination that was faced at the airport should not happen at all. The stuff that happened at the hotel, mistakes happen, I agree. It's a demanding job, it's tough, with so many passengers coming in. It's not easy, but it should have been much more efficient. I should not have had to wait more than 1 hour to get reassigned to a new room. These kind of issues have happened in the past, are happening right now, and unless people like me don't speak up about it, will continue to happen in the future.
The next morning, I received a pleasant surprise along with my lunch, an apology from the hotel staff. Okay la, I forgive you.
Just got a call on the hotel phone. It was a call from a MOH, Ministry of Health. They said that someone sitting near me in the flight tested positive, so I am being shifted out to a government facility, and my quarantine still stays the same amount of length, obviously provided I don't test positive.
You'll be switched over to QO, which is quarantine order, because it's a confirmed case.
Okay.
So the SHN is like, you come from overseas, you come back. It's a mandatory thing to just quarantine in case.
Right.
But once you've been exposed to a confirmed case person, so you will switch over to quarantine order, which is under a different government body, higher level of quarantine in a way.
What's the main difference? As in, will there be testing done?
No, it's just different facilities because we cannot mix those on SHN and QO together, just for separation purpose, and it's much easier to facilitate. Pretty much the same actually, it's just that we will send you also to swab test and all that lah.
Okay.
And that one is booked for you, so don't need to worry.
It's been 3 hours since I received that first call saying that I'm going to be shifted out. It's just waiting again, and I've been doing a lot of waiting since yesterday with very little answers. But I'm very glad that at least this last office that I spoke to, he was the most clear of all the people that I've talked to so far, and he had the most answers. So yeah, good job. He knows what he's doing. It is 12:40 a.m. and I just got a call that the car is here and I have to go. So not great timing at all, to be very honest.
So at this hotel, is it just passengers from my flight or just other?
Close contact or suspect close contact.
Okay.
Don't worry lah.
Yeah,
Positive one they send to hospital.
Alright, well I must say that this is definitely an upgrade from the previous hotel. It's 2 a.m. I was specifically instructed to stay awake because the person will come to put the device on, so just waiting. It's day 2 of quarantine and I have to wear this. This is the location tagging device that I have to keep on my wrist for the next 12 days. I can't remove it even during showering. So that's there. It looks like I'm a patient in the hospital, but It's fine, no one's here to judge me anyway. Today we had the rapid antigen test at the hotel lobby. All of us were called in batches and we went to get our test done. Test result came out negative. Great. Now my question is, there seems to be a question at every stage, isn't there? Why is it a rapid antigen test? Why not an RT-PCR test? I get that rapid antigen tests usually happen at, places where you want to quickly get a result, especially in a high volume area. But it's not nearly as effective as RT-PCR. Now the only difference between the quarantine order that I'm in right now versus the SHN that I was in before is that I'm doing daily temperature checks 3 times a day. I also have to submit a photo of myself to verify that it is me indeed who is submitting these reports. That's the only real difference between quarantine order and SHN. Yesterday, it was in the news that all travelers coming from India from the 22nd of April will have to serve an additional 7 days of quarantine. And I was thinking to myself, oh, that's great because I came in before the 22nd of April. But it's also applicable to those who have not finished their 14 days of quarantine yet by the time this gets implemented. And I still had 8 days before I was gonna leave this quarantine. I'll be serving a total 21 days of quarantine, which is pretty crazy to think about. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Just got a call from the hotel lobby. They said that I have to change rooms now for no apparent reason. I asked them why I'm being moved and they said it's an order. It's an order from the ministry. I have no symptoms. I have no idea why I'm being moved. I just signed papers yesterday giving my acknowledgement that I will be staying in this particular room for that extended 7 days period that I have to stay as well. But now I'm being moved without any valid reason except for it's an order from the ministry. It's possible that they are trying to isolate all the passengers who came from India onto one floor or like one section of the hotel so that we don't possibly infect others. Maybe it's because today, exactly 2 weeks from now, I'll be leaving this quarantine. Maybe it's because it's already been 1 week since I've been here. I don't know the reason, and I just want answers. I got shifted to my new room. Absolutely no idea why I've been shifted still. The officer who escorted me to my new room, and I asked him as well as to why I'm being shifted. He thought that I was shifting because I didn't like the previous room and I wanted another room because I requested for it. And I was like, no, I was told to move. Have I been shifted to another section of the hotel or to another level? Nope, I'm on the same floor, just a few rooms down. The view is a little bit better. I can open the blinds on this one at least. I still have 2 more weeks to go. God knows how many other rooms I'm gonna be in. I've tested negative on all my tests. Imagine if I was infectious. Of course, they disinfect everything, they clean everything. But still, I've been to 5 different rooms, interacted with all essential workers, but at the end of the day, still potentially putting them at risk. And if I am not infectious, by moving me to 5 different rooms, I am being exposed to more infectious people as well at the same time. 6 days to go until my quarantine ends, and this is now the 6th room that I have been assigned. This time, the reason is floor maintenance. Why they couldn't have waited for all of us to check out and then do the maintenance, I don't know. Why they couldn't have assigned me this floor during the previous reassignment if they knew there was a floor maintenance upcoming, I don't know. Yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, I had my swab test done again. I think it was just a precautionary swab test for everyone since our quarantine got extended to 21 days.
And people ask, what's next? I'm like, what needs to be next? Nothing needs to come next because I'm just pumped. I get to wake up and use my camera every day. That is successful to me. You gotta be happy and you gotta do what you love. And if you can say that you are both of those things, I think you're successful.
The final swab test done, no symptoms in the last 20 days. This swab test was as uncomfortable as usual, but after the swab test was done, my nose was a little bit irritated, so I was just wiping away, and I noticed a little bit of blood. I wasn't bleeding profusely, but just dabs of blood were coming out, so it happens. Praying and hoping
that by the end of the day, I get the result and it's negative. It's been a long journey. It's been a very long journey.
2143, right?
2713.
Some number is 2713.
Yeah, they changed me a few times. So.
Okay, no problem. 2713, yeah?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Alright.
Okay, good day.
It's almost 12. Just waiting for someone to come escort me down to the lobby. And I'm free. Can I reference that you are in the police and I'm just seeking your advice? Because it's a quarantine facility, it's not a regular SHN. No alcohol and cigarettes are allowed. I had purchased a duty-free bottle at Mumbai airport. At check-in, the person who was there, he took the bottle and he was like, okay, we will give it back to you when you check out. Fast forward to today, I was checking out. Only today was I interacting with hotel staff. So when I told hotel staff that I had a bottle and like to have it back, they looked in their whatever inventory and they didn't find the bottle. The manager or the director, whoever the person was, he came and he said, we will check the CCTV and we will let you know. About an hour ago, he called me and he said that he saw the footage. So he was being very vague about it because obviously he doesn't want to take names or anything. The way he said it was there's a discrepancy with what happened. So I asked him what's the discrepancy? Is it like someone took the bottle or something? He laughed and he said, yes, something like that happened. He told me that he has already lodged a complaint to the police, and he told me that I am also free to lodge a complaint on my own behalf as well, like, if I want to. It doesn't matter what the item was, like, at the end of the day it was a theft, and the director, he said that he will purchase the bottle and give it to me on his own expense, but that's purely as a goodwill gesture because I stayed at that hotel. And he was very clear in mentioning that it wasn't a hotel staff member. I can understand his point of view, like he's trying to make amends, like make sure his hotel's name doesn't come in all of this, and I agreed, like to that extent the hotel hasn't been involved in anything.
Wait, when you say the person took the bottle, did they like take the bottle, as in like they stole it, like drank it, that kind of thing?
I'm not sure if he drank it. It's not declared a theft yet by hotel or the authorities, but if he complained to the police, so obviously it must mean that he saw someone take it.
From what I know, from my knowledge, you can make a report at like a police station near you, but it will be like linked. So example, they will have like two different case numbers combined into one, so they call it VIDE, VIDE. So it's like two different police reports in one case up. If you ask me for my opinion about the whole thing, then okay, since it's not the hotel staff, then you should lodge a report 100%. Like you're still getting your job done.
Okay, bit kiasu but have to
Yeah, being you're in a Singaporean.
Makes for a good video also.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for your help.
Alright, no problems.
Yes. As promised earlier, here's a list of other SHN related incidents that I know of. Pause the video here if you need to, so you can read this at your own pace. If you've reached till the end of this video, I humbly thank you and appreciate you. I hope that I've managed to handle and explain the happenings of those 21 days in as tasteful of a manner as possible. The aim of this video is not to blame or rant, but to point out some of the glaring issues that can hopefully make someone's future SHN a much more pleasant and incident-free experience. I would also like to say thank you to all of the frontliners out there who are risking their lives every day to help keep us safe. Despite all the issues I faced, you guys are amazing for what you're doing and taking care of us in these difficult times. To all the taxi drivers, nurses, security officers, cleaners, volunteers, etc., thank you. That's all I have for you right now. Once again, thank you for watching, and I wish you a pleasant day.